After 7 consecutive years playing together, Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde depart the Buffalo Bills, one leaving for an opportunity to play for an AFC East rival, while the other one leaves with a little bit of a not so sure path of where he's going to go. And it's very somber to think about because both of these players are beloved in Buffalo. One of them has a promising career ahead of him with a AFC East rival. The other one, not really sure if he can stay healthy and play on another team. While it has been determined that he will probably leave and retire, he could return to the Buffalo Bills. But as we saw, the Buffalo Bills have signed a few younger free agents. One of them played for the Buffalo Bills in 2023. The other one is another promising player that comes to Buffalo after playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well as the Kansas City Chiefs. He played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 2019 to 2022 and for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2023. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion, and he was brought into Buffalo to compete for the starting safety role. Can you guess who this player is? He's the fourth player that we are going to talk about on our player analysis series presented by GoBillsPodcast.com. We will talk about him right after we hit our intro. It was a somber moment in March when we saw the likes of Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, and other veteran leaders on this Buffalo Bills roster, players that tried so hard to help the Buffalo Bills achieve the ultimate goal that every Bills fan wanted to see, a Super Bowl victory. These players are beloved in Buffalo, guys that really had a great career in Buffalo, but they depart now. And we see a new roster coming to the Buffalo Bills. A sad moment that I will remember in March, crying tears down my face when we saw Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde leave the Buffalo Bills. Two veteran leaders in the backfield for Buffalo that now depart. And the new era for the Buffalo Bills begins with two younger safeties coming into play. One in Taylor Rapp, the other one more of an unknown player that we are going to talk about more today. This player, if you haven't guessed, played for the 2019 Tampa Bay Bucks through 2022 Tampa Bay Bucks, while also playing for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2023, winning 2 Super Bowl championships along the way. This player is none other than Mike Edwards. And if you don't know much about him, we'll get to know him. Last season with the Kansas City Chiefs, he had 57.08% of the defensive snaps. He was drafted in 2019 by the Tampa Bay Bucks out of Kentucky. Some of his measurements out of college come in at 5'10", 205 pounds, 30.78-inch arms, a 4.5 40 that he ran, 1.58 yard, 10-yard split, 2.59 20-yard split, 37-inch vertical jump with a 9-foot 8-inch broad jump. And this was in the NFL scouting combine. He comes to Buffalo in his age 28 to 29 season after playing for the Kansas City Chiefs in more of a role position last season, playing in the role with a few other guys, having 51 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 sack, and 1 interception. Some of the pros and cons for him are that he is more of a versatile player. And I do have a comment that came in real quick from John Robert on Facebook saying, have you heard anything about his shoulder? Yes, I have. A little bit more about this shoulder injury. He did have off-season surgery this past off-season. He should be back to normal and competing in training camp for the starting role with the second-round pick that we picked for the Buffalo Bills, Cole Bishop. So he should be ready to go, as Brandon Beane has stated. He is a very versatile player, which is one of the pros for him, being as he played in college as pretty much a starting slot cornerback, while also playing the safety role as well. So he brings some versatility to the Buffalo Bills, and it kind of reminds me more of what another team that I think of that's comparable to the Buffalo Bills would be in the MLB, the Tampa Bay Rays. And what they're looking for are versatile players that can play other positions, because as we saw last year, some of our cornerbacks got injured, and we need guys that can come in and take over in the game and not really have a regression in terms of the next player that's available. He also comes in as a durable option, very durable throughout his career in college and in the NFL, only missing 5 games throughout his career in 5 seasons. Those 5 games were missed only in the NFL, 0 games missed in college. He has a high football IQ to him, where you're going to see in some of the plays that I will show you later, 7 of the videos that we have to be exact, some of the high football IQ plays that he has out there on the field. You're also going to see some of the run defensive skills that he brings to the table. Very good plays that he makes on some of the elite players in the NFL. Guys like none other than Saquon Barkley and Amari Cooper that he makes plays on. He's got very good route recognition, but on the other hand, some of his cons that he has out there are that he bites on routes very easily. And to be specific on the routes that he bites on are the play action routes, as well as anything that really is a pump fake. You'll see he bites on, but sometimes it benefits you, but in other times it can really bite you in the end. He's a very strong ball skill player with a lot of physicality, and he's also a tackling machine. If you look back at what he's done throughout his career in the NFL, having 235 combined tackles throughout his career, 78 of those were assisted, 3 sacks in his career, 8 interceptions for 197 yards. The one skill that he does bring to the table is 3 career interceptions returned for a touchdown. As you will see in these videos that I will show you later on here, these videos, you're going to see a lot of plays where he not only is around the ball, but he's also making big plays with interceptions on some of the good quarterbacks in the NFL, along with some of the quarterbacks that you may not have heard of as well. Some other cons for him: missed tackles. That's one area that he struggles in, but that can be cleaned up. These are coachable things that he can clean up. Lacks recovery speed as well. A little bit undersized to him, 5'10". We've seen that trend, but as you know, none other than Sean McDermott is very good at being a defensive coach and coaching these guys up. We never thought that Micah Hyde or Jordan Poyer would come into the Buffalo Bills 7 years ago and be the leaders that they were. And Mike Edwards could continue that trend of players that come to the Buffalo Bills and really step up and play a big role in the Buffalo Bills defense. He also lacks power for jamming up receivers. He struggles with that with some of his size, but as you will see, that can be coached up as well, especially with the new secondary coaches that the Buffalo Bills brought in. Bites easily on play actions, as I mentioned. Sometimes it works for him, sometimes it doesn't. He also struggles with change of direction, which leaves the backfield vulnerable and can lead to some touchdowns going the other way for the offense of the opposing team. He's not very athletic out there on the field, but as I mentioned, he's pretty much not going to be a long-term solution for the Buffalo Bills. He's going to be the guy that can come in and be the veteran leader and help push Cole Bishop to take the starting role from him. So I think this is a veteran move for the Buffalo Bills to get a leader out there on the field while also having more of a guy that can come in, bring in the Super Bowl pedigree that he has. You know, when he comes to the locker room, you're looking for guys that can come in and have the Super Bowl rings. Guys like Von Miller, Taylor Rapp, along with other guys like Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And yesterday I featured Mac Hollins on our show. all these guys have won Super Bowl rings, and that's the ultimate goal for guys like Josh Allen, James Cook, and the veterans on this team that are looking for their first Super Bowl win. And some of the rookies that we have brought in as well, they haven't won a Super Bowl ring. So when you get to feature that round in the locker room and the presence that you're going to have with different Super Bowl rings being featured, that's only going to motivate our guys to get better and better and try and bring in a Super Bowl to the Buffalo Bills. John Robert comes in the chat saying, do you think he will be the starter? Either way, I think Bishop will play a lot. I think he's going to be more of a role player for the Buffalo Bills, but don't be surprised if he becomes the starter out of the gates. He had a very strong playoff season for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think that he got better as the season went on. So don't be surprised if he is the starter as the season begins. But as you know, none other than Sean McDermott does not like to play out rookies right away. And I think that that's going to continue to be the trend this season. And you'll see them bring in Cole Bishop slowly, but he will become the starter later in the season. You can't keep somebody off the field that's so athletic and has so much promise out there on the field. So that's what's going to hurt Mike Edwards as well. And if he struggles, that's why Cole Bishop will go into the game. But I think that there's a lot of strengths to Mike Edwards and why he can be out there on the field for Buffalo. But there's also a guy waiting in the wings in Cole Bishop that can come in and be a starter as well. Very good question from John Robert. Let's go over the salary cap hit that Mike Edwards will have. $2.8 million for the 2024 season, the only season that he is under contract with the Buffalo Bills. And that number is not very high. It was lower than guys like Jordan Poyer as well. But I think that this is a contract that is a little bit slept on because he can be a leader for the Buffalo Bills, and it would be a great contract. And I think this is a great move by Brandon Beane, bringing in a guy with some Super Bowl victories under his belt and some veteran leadership, especially in the playoffs. And I think that was the trend for Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott this offseason, was bringing in guys that are leaders that have been through the playoffs, made deep runs in the playoffs, and have experience being there in those moments. And that's what we really brought in this season. Let's go over to the film that we are going to show you here. I'm going to take out the Mike Edwards film. Actually, I'm going to keep it in here as well, and I will bring in some of the film. You're going to see 7 videos overall. The first video that we're going to see is a video of what Mike Edwards does out there on the field against Amari Cooper. And this play, I think he pretty much saved an open field tackle that would have went for a touchdown on this play. Watch and see what he does here, guys. Up at the top of the screen, as you see Mike Edwards coming in, some missed tackles on this play, and Mike Edwards comes in and makes the stop for a minimal gain on Amari Cooper that could have went for a touchdown. And as you know, Amari Cooper, one of the better wide receivers last season in the NFL, having a good career so far with the Cleveland Browns, comes in, makes a big stop, and really has a good play recognition there. John Robert coming in saying, Taron Johnson said Cole Bishop is big. He definitely is. That's one area that I really like about him as well. The second play that I'm going to feature here is another play where you can see the play recognition skills of Mike Edwards. This is the play where Daniel Jones flips the ball over to Saquon Barkley. And watch and see what Mike Edwards does on this play, the open field tackle that he makes. And then after this play, check out the play right after that he makes on the very next play. This is a little slip off to Saquon Barkley, stopped in the backfield for a very minimal gain, actually a few yards lost. And then check out this next play that he makes, Devin White tipping the pass over to Mike Edwards on that play. And as you see, an interception from Mike Edwards. Let's check out the next play that Mike Edwards makes here. This is the play where he comes in and his play recognition on the play action. Watch and see what he does to Patrick Mahomes on this play. It's pretty cool. As you see here, bottom of the screen, Mike Edwards coming in for the sack on the play action here. Check out what he does here. Nice sack here, as you can see, defeating the tight end here on this play. Let's go over the fourth video that you will see here. This is a nice pass breakup that he has against the Dallas Cowboys. And check out what he does on this play here. At the top of the screen, as you will see, coming in his play recognition there, coming in, docking the pass away for what would have been a very nice gain for the Dallas Cowboys, but coming in and disrupting the pass here on this play. Now we will get into the fun part of it. As you saw, some pass breakups, sack, as well as open field tackles. I know what you're looking for, guys, and this is what I was looking for. Can he make big plays and be a ball hawk out there? Because we had two guys out there in Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde that did it for a long period of time with the Buffalo Bills. Check out these three plays that Mike Edwards had when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first play here, Jalen Hurts rolling out to his left, intercepted by none other than Mike Edwards in the back of the end zone, saving a touchdown on that play. Very next play that I'm going to show you guys here. This is the great play that he makes for a pick six on this one. Check it out. As you see, picked off by Mike Edwards, running it back all the way to the house, and I cannot wait to see Mike Edwards do that inside of Highmark Stadium, and that's what excites me so much about him. The last play that I'm going to show you is another play where it's a tip pass to himself on this play, going up against Matt Ryan. Tip pass to himself, intercepting it, returning it for a touchdown. You'll see him on the bottom of the screen here, making the tip pass to himself, bringing it back all the way to the house for another touchdown. 3 career interceptions returned for a touchdown in his career. He has had a pretty decent career overall, and I think that bringing him to Buffalo excites me quite a bit. His best season overall, 82 tackles for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers his last season in Tampa. 30 of those were combined tackles. 1 sack that season, 2 interceptions for 68 yards, and 1 touchdown return. Best season that he had was 2 touchdowns returned for a touchdown in 2021, where he had 3 interceptions that season. So, as you know more about Mike Edwards, let me know in the comments below what you think of him and what you believe that he will do for the Buffalo Bills in the 2024 season. If you have any stat predictions for him, also let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and Threads. You can also click on our website, GoBillsPodcast.com. Click on over to the website where you can find all of our upcoming shows under the podcast schedule for the Buffalo Bills and for all of us on Go Bills Podcast, Nickel City Mafia, as well as Red, White, and Bills. Our next show will be on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That show will be another player on our player analysis series that we will feature. I will not spoil who it is, but it'll be an interesting prospect that we will have. Our first player that will be featured on the draft class for the Buffalo Bills. So don't forget to like and subscribe, comment, and also keep your notifications open so that you can find out anytime that we are going live on YouTube and Instagram. This has been the Go Bills Podcast. We will see you next time for another edition of the Go Bills Podcast. Until then, Go Bills.